It's Thursday, July 23rd.
And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
Concerns about the scale of weather warnings after millions of people received the same tornado warning Tuesday.
You have fans that could be visiting and then they go back to where they're from. Now they can go ahead and get it, right?
Premiers agreed to loosen interprovincial barriers on alcohol sales in response to a 50% tariff announcement on Canadian booze being sold in the U.S.
And a popular trail has been reopened to cyclists and pedestrians for the first time in 4 years. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now.
Good morning. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And we've had a bit of a change each and every day from Monday, Tuesday to Wednesday to Thursday, up and down. But on Monday, we stated that Thursday into the weekend was going to be the nicest conditions that we see.
Thankfully, because I did not like yesterday, let me tell you, when I had to have pants on and a hoodie to go about and pick up my kids. I was like, what is happening? I cannot handle this. Definitely felt like a fall day yesterday, and I'm just not here for it. So summer is back today, thankfully.
Can I in or out you talking about there was a potential that maybe a seat heater was on this morning?
All the heaters were on. I had to turn my heat on. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, we're in the middle of July. I should not have to put my heat on at this hour.
Not for long, though. Everything changes, right?
On full bus, yes, everything changes. AC this afternoon. Thankfully, the warm weather is back, so is the sunshine. Full details in a few minutes.
Good. Looking forward to that warm weather forecast. Thanks for that, Melissa. We're going to get straight to your top stories. Just days after a tornado warning was issued for multiple parts of the capital and eastern Ontario, there are questions about how and when the phone alert system is used. The warning stretched across the entire city of Ottawa, yet no tornado ended up forming in our region. Storm chaser Connor Mockett suggests adopting a similar approach used in the U.S., where warnings only go out to those in the narrow path where a tornado could touch down. His concern, a boy who cried wolf situation where people are sent so many warnings that don't apply to them, they stop taking them seriously.
If you're issuing warning boxes that big, a large majority of that warning box has nothing to worry about. And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
No explanation was provided by Environment Canada or Alert Ready, Canada's emergency alerting system, as to why so many people were warned. But there is strong evidence a tornado likely touched down in Harrington, Quebec, about 120 kilometers northeast of downtown Ottawa. Earlier this week, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to impose a 50% tariff on a number of Canadian goods, including alcohol, due in part to provincial bans on U.S. alcohol. In spite of the looming new tariff, many premiers say they still won't put U.S. booze back on their shelves. Instead, 9 of the 10 provinces, including Ontario, have agreed to remove interprovincial barriers to alcohol sales, allowing Canadian producers to sell alcohol products directly to consumers, regardless of jurisdiction. And in Ottawa, some local producers are getting ready to wet their whistle on what could be lucrative opportunities.
Now they can actually create that link to the consumer and actually fulfill an order to them and, get their products across the country without being tied to have a general listing in one of our government-regulated liquor stores.
The premiers of Quebec and the 3 territories have not signed on to the agreement. Ottawa police are asking for dash cam footage after a reported home invasion in the Manotick Estates area. Police say Sunday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., 4 male suspects and 1 female suspect entered a home in the area of Dunblane Way and Cabral Place. The suspects were dressed as construction workers. Police did not provide any further details about what happened. As the cleanup continues after the massive Canada Day storm, more help is on the way for homeowners, particularly those most vulnerable. The city is partnering with Matthew House and Habitat for Humanity to help flood victims replace lost furniture. It comes as many seniors struggle to clean out basements full of mold. As of now, there are more than 6,500 reports of flooded basements.
I think the city's understanding of the need is still growing. So many people that would be underinsured or uninsured, folks that in order to be able to replace the furniture that they've lost would be an enormous investment for them. And so we're able to provide that for them instead.
Matthew House is currently accepting furniture donations to help with the initiative. More details can be found on our website, ctvnews.ca. Ottawa paramedics say 2 people were injured at a downtown construction site Wednesday morning when a garbage bin fell off a forklift. It happened at around 8:20 a.m. in the area of Argyle Avenue and Metcalf Street. A garbage bin fell from a forklift, hitting 2 people, one in their 30s and the other in their 50s. Both were taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. The Ontario Ministry of Labour is investigating. Canadian Blood Services is asking for donors to help replenish its dwindling supply of life-saving essentials. The organization says the blood supply is down nearly 20% since June 1st, and there are now limited days on hand of several blood types. Canadian Blood Services says appointment bookings have fallen below typical patterns. VP Ron Vizina says more donors are needed to ensure hospitals have the blood they need for everyday care and emergencies. You can find out how to donate at blood.ca.
And for the first time in 4 years, the popular Ottawa River pathway behind Parliament Hill is open to pedestrians and cyclists.
Yeah, the scenic area is located between the Portage Bridge and the downtown Ottawa Locks.
The National Capital Commission says it has now finished major rehabilitation work on the pathway that has been underway since 2022. It is a beautiful park.
It totally is.
It's just so gorgeous, right by the water, between the water and Parliament Hill. You go for a run, go for a bike ride, go for a walk. It's gorgeous. Oh, I'm so glad it's open.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to go running around there all the time when I lived downtown. It was great. Such a beautiful spot.
You know what I heard? I have not done it yet, but I heard that there are stairs.
Yes.
You got to run the stairs up to Parliament Hill. Apparently, it's like a rocky kind of situation where you run up.
Gotta run up the stairs. You know you'll be running up those stairs, no problem.
Just a little workout. Run up, go dun 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 dun.
Guess who did that on Thursday? Not me, but my husband went and did it.
How did you not bring that up? I was like, yeah, I just had to do some incline stairs.
Did he do it?
Yeah, he went and did the stairs behind Parliament Hill. Apparently it's a great workout because there's some flat parts too, so you kind of got to run and then up the stairs and run and up the stairs, and it's great. But it's a beautiful view.
It is.
Right? Imagine running down and just seeing all of the water and the Gatineau side. So stunning. And a good day to do it today.
Today.
So glad we got someone like that potentially saving us from fires.
Yeah, true. He's fit.
Just a little workout on a day off. Gonna go run
like
some
it.
stairs.
I like it.
Yeah, we're so similar that way. 25 degrees is the daytime high this afternoon, so a little bit below seasonal, but much better than it was yesterday. Lots of sunshine in the forecast. Sun setting earlier now. It's setting at 8:40 p.m., so inching closer to an 8:30 sunset. Temperatures this morning, 12 degrees, no humidity in the forecast. So it actually feels like 12 degrees. So yes, it is a bit cool out there to start off your morning. You'll probably need a light jacket or a sweater to start things off. 11 in the valley, 14 in Kingston, 10 in Brockville and along the seaways. So cool across the region this morning. In our skies, the good news is the rain has ended. So we will see a mix of sun and cloud this morning, a bit sunnier into your afternoon, and then beautiful conditions on the way for today, tomorrow, and Saturday. So the next 3 days, pure sunshine. Don't have to worry about any rain. It's Saturday overnight that we are expecting a little bit of rain in the forecast. So we will see clear skies throughout most of the day on Saturday. Then overnight is when we could start to see a spotty showers, which will continue, unfortunately, into your day on Sunday. Beautiful today. Get outside and enjoy after a cool one yesterday. 25 degrees this afternoon. Humidity back in the forecast late this afternoon. We'll feel closer to 28. 25 in Kemptville, 24 in Brockville, Cornwall. Same out in the valley for today, as well as in Petawawa, 25 in Gatineau. So gorgeous across the region today. Lots of sunshine. That's going to stick around. Overnight dropping to 12. So still a night that you could open up the windows, let in that fresh air like I'm sure most of us did yesterday. 27, so slightly hotter as we head into tomorrow. We'll feel closer to 32. 28 on Saturday. Again, we'll feel closer to 33, 34. So some humidity back in the forecast. We'll stay hot and sunny over the next 3 days. A bit of a switch on Sunday. We could see a few spotty showers, but it will stay nice and warm with a high of 28. Then next week, temperatures really seasonal from Monday right through until Wednesday. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your traffic and no major issues. Traffic is flowing well on your highways. Everything looks good to go. No major slowdowns to report, and we are collision free this hour. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
TSN Must See Moment is brought to you by The Works, Craft Burgers and Cold Brews. Hot deals every day, all summer long.
What's going on? Adam Scully here inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. For that, we head to South Beach for this one. Action from MLS. Inter Miami, Chicago Fire, 18th minute. Ian Frey with a drop pass to his goalkeeper, Rocco Rios Novo. Oh, no, he whiffs it. That is a brutal own goal for Miami's keeper, Rios Novo, making his first start in over 4 months. Unfortunately, little rusty on this one. And he earns your must-see moment from Wednesday. Tonight, we've got the CFL on TSN. Thursday night football between the top teams in the West, the Elks and the Rough Riders. It all starts at 8:30 p.m. Eastern across the TSN network. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa.
They were concerned about seeing these diseased fish with these, inky black tumors.
A rare form of contagious cancer has been discovered in fish. Why researchers say that the finding could help unlock new answers about the disease. We'll have that story coming up a little bit later on. Outside through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, sunshine starting to poke back out after a weird Wednesday, but temperatures on the rise and the weekend looking, very nice. Stay with us, 6:12 on your Thursday. We'll be right back.
It's 6:14. Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. After a tornado warning was issued for multiple parts of the capital and eastern Ontario, concerns are rising about how and when the alert system is used. Premiers agree to loosen interprovincial barriers on alcohol sales in response to a 50% tariff announcement on Canadian booze being sold in the U.S. And Canadian Blood Services is asking for donors to help replenish its dwindling supply of life-saving essentials. So a cool night tonight. Last night, we're wondering what the weather will be like today.
Temperatures are picking up slightly from yesterday. So yesterday we cruised up just beyond 20, up to 25 this afternoon. But the biggest difference, that beautiful sunshine makes a glorious return, and temperatures overnight won't be as cool. And we only crank up the heat from here as we dive into the weekend. Melissa has all those details coming up, but a beautiful Thursday in store. Let's take a peek at your road, shall we? 6:15 on your Thursday morning. Everything smooth sailing as of right now. Nothing major to pass along. We got you covered all morning long if any disruptions occur through the morning ahead. Researchers have discovered transmissible cancer in fish in a lake straddling the Canada-U.S. border. The surprising finding opens broader questions about the spread of cancer, pollution, and the stress in the habitat of the species. CTV's Genevieve Boschman has more.
Below the surface of majestic Lake Memphremagog, researchers discovered a strange phenomenon, a contagious cancer spreading among brown bullhead catfish.
One of the things we're thinking about is this actually more common and we just don't know about it?
The finding opens broader questions about the spread of cancer generally, but also about environmental stressors. Anglers began flagging black velvety growths on their catch more than a decade ago, concerned there was a virus or a pollutant causing disease.
They were concerned about seeing these diseased fish with these, inky black tumors.
Wildlife biologists eventually determined a rare skin cancer was afflicting more than a third of brown bullhead catfish in the lake. DNA testing eventually led U.S. scientists to conclude the cancer was actually spreading from fish to fish. They hypothesized it started with one catfish with a tumor shedding cancerous cells. Now, this is only the fourth type of transmissible cancer identified in the animal kingdom, the first in fish or freshwater species. Contagious forms have also been found in the Tasmanian devil, clams, and dogs. The discovery could help study melanoma in humans and perhaps other cancers. Could it tell us more about potential transmission of certain cancers in humans?
I think it could, in humans as well. The cancer is avoiding the immune system somehow.
There's no evidence that cancerous catfish cancer could spread to humans. Still, wildlife officials warn anglers not to eat the fish with tumors. Researchers are asking anglers who find a fish with a black patch to report it so they can get as much information as possible. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Magog, Quebec.
And it also just shows, a decade ago, we started noticing like the fish having like maybe these illnesses, and it just goes to show how much time it takes to trial, see what's happening, especially here at home, like in our lakes. You don't really think about something like that.
Yeah, the study has to be so detailed and intricate to come to those conclusions. It's got to take time.
Yeah, because before you can actually make changes, you need to make sure you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Super interesting. All right, switching gears. One of the leaders of the 2022 Freedom Convoy protest is now back in the news. The CBC is reporting that Leach is trying to get permission to travel internationally for a cruise and to visit the White House as an employee of Rebel News. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA to get his thoughts on this, Bill. And where do you want to begin?
Well, if there's any shred of credibility left in our justice system, this cannot happen because it will blow it up entirely. The woman is under house arrest. It doesn't matter whether you think she was guilty or not guilty. In the eyes of the law, she's guilty. House arrest is not a very tough sentence. I'm sure it's harder than it sounds, although I do remember COVID, we all felt like we were kind of under house arrest. Maybe that's the irony of Tamara Leach, but you have to stay home. And they seem to be playing this game with, well, she's now an employee with Rebel News, and she's going on some kind of Rebel News related cruise, and I guess the White House visit is related to that in some way as well. The average Canadian would look at this and say, you have to be kidding. We cannot allow people on house arrest to have what is already an easy sentence made even easier by allowing them to travel around the world. What would we be thinking here? So there's a judge in Ottawa has a decision to make, and that judge better be taking into account, and they can take into account how the public reacts to something that the law allows that. They have to consider that very seriously. I think the anger in this country will be palpable if Tamara Leach gets to go on an extended vacation, whether it's work related or not. So no, this can't happen.
Not to mention, Bill, if you think about everything that's going on right now between the two countries, for Tamara Leach to potentially get off house arrest, go to the United States, and visit the White House with everything going on, that would just make it even more of a mess.
Well, yeah, because look, this job she has with Rebel News is cashing in on the crime that she committed in the first place. So she's benefiting from the crime she committed while she's supposed to be still under house arrest, still serving her time. Add that to the list of things that will make us feel appalled by any decision to let her travel. I'd be kind of surprised if they do, but not totally surprised, because when it comes to our justice system, I'm never totally surprised.
Yeah, like you said, in the hands of the judge at this point, Bill. We'll see what comes to fruition after this. Appreciate your time.
And then to go to the White House and rub Ottawans' noses in it after the disruption here. Ooh. Have a great day, guys.
You too. Yeah, not great timing on that front. If you want to listen to more of Mr. Bill Carroll, he is on The Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA every weekday from 6 till 10 a.m. We'll take a peek outside in that beautiful sunshine making a return, and back to seasonal temperatures. A lovely Thursday afternoon ahead. 6:21. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back.
What makes your community special? Join us next week for Your Neighborhood, showcasing the people and places that make the National Capital Region shine.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
everybody. We are sharing the secrets to brewing that perfect cup of coffee at home in the 8 o'clock hour. So today on the show, we are asking for your comments on what is your summer coffee order. Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. But boy, are we going to be picky on some parts of this panel.
So in the morning, for me, I love a hot coffee. It doesn't change summer and winter. However, my afternoon coffee, I switch it up and I add ice cubes. I do the iced coffee, and I do the brown sugar oat shaken espresso. If you know, you know what it is all about.
It's true. If you know, you know.
You know, you know. It's basically blonde espresso. It's ice, so blonde espresso on ice. I add a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of oat milk. Then they have their special brown syrup, but I do the sugar-free vanilla, and then 1 pump of the brown sugar, 1 pump of the sugar-free vanilla. Shake it all up, and it's delicious.
Okay, before I interject with my opinion, we're going to head it over to Rosie on the very rare occasion that you are going on a long road trip and you do indulge in coffee. What do you get? What is your potential summer coffee?
Summer coffee. Well, I think it would be cold coffee with ice cubes in it and maybe a little bit of milk to kind of, you know, make it more
Not
rich.
so strong.
And maybe that's what I'm thinking. Have I had it? No, but it kind of, you know, kind of sounds good to me. And can I just say, after hearing Melissa's order, hats off to all you baristas.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It is so detailed. There's so many ingredients. Who knew there were so many ingredients in a coffee? Right? So, yeah, so I guess I would add ice cubes. I don't know. What about you?
Okay, so I'm an OG, okay? Maybe it's the Italian in me, but I am a classic where I'm a little bit of a chemist in my home.
You are.
I have the pre-infusion set to a certain amount of allocated time. I have the temperature gauge set. I roast the particular amount of beans for the coffee machine. I weigh the water out. And I manually infuse the coffee with an allocated time for it to come out. And I make my double espresso, dark Italian roast. I feel that flavor of the bold, hot coffee.
Hot, okay, got it.
And that's my summer drink, my fall drink, my winter drink. Number
It
one,
doesn't
always,
change.
it's a dark Italian
Okay,
espresso.
so what happens if someone says, here, Will, here's your coffee with ice in it. This is a summer coffee.
I will say that please allocate that far away from me. That is the devil's coffee.
Oh,
Over there, you're like, no go,
I
no
will
go.
happy drink all the iced coffee.
I know, and it's funny because there's so many people that love
Delicious.
iced coffee, but just nope, never for me.
You're very particular with your fancy coffee.
Yeah, hopefully that didn't
coffee
scare you
machine.
from sharing, because we have 2 people on the panel that would potentially enjoy an iced coffee. So we'll hear from you. We're asking, what is your summer coffee order? 1 pump of vanilla, 2 pumps of brown sugar, just some ice in
Cinnamon. I
there.
don't know.
Cinnamon, maybe some honey. Let us know your comments. Email us yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca, and we'll share those coming up. I'm going to go get an espresso. I'm worked up. We'll be right back.
Good morning, 6:30. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edden.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
If you're just joining us, we were talking about our coffee orders before the commercial break, because coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, we're talking about how you at home can make the perfect cup of coffee. There will be lots of judgment from one person on this panel, and especially if there's any ice involved in that coffee.
Oh, I love a good iced coffee, so I'll gladly take the iced coffee away
there
from
you
you
go.
today.
This is our first bite.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh. Okay, you continue that
No,
little
but it's
spat.
compromising because you get the hot, I get the cold. It's fine. It works. It's a win-win.
Okay, all right, we'll chat.
Okay, a little bit of a compromise right there, but right now we're going to get you started on today's top stories. Just days after a tornado warning was issued for multiple parts of the capital and eastern Ontario, there are questions about how and when the phone alert system is used. The warning stretched across the entire city of Ottawa, yet no tornado ended up forming in our region. Storm chaser Connor Mockett suggests adopting a similar approach used in the U.S., where warnings only go out to those in the narrow path where a tornado could touch down. His concern, a boy who cried wolf situation where people are sent so many warnings that don't apply to them, they stop taking them seriously.
If you're issuing warning boxes that big, a large majority of that warning box has nothing to worry about. And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
No explanation was provided by Environment Canada or Alert Ready, Canada's emergency alerting system, as to why so many people were warned. But there is strong evidence a tornado likely touched down in Harrington, Quebec, about 120 kilometers northeast of downtown Ottawa. Earlier this week, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to impose a 50% tariff on a number of Canadian goods, including alcohol. The proposed tariffs are due in part to provincial bans on U.S. alcohol. In spite of the looming new tariff, many premiers say they still will not put U.S. booze back on their shelves. Instead, 9 of the 10 provinces, including Ontario, have agreed to remove interprovincial barriers to alcohol sales, allowing Canadian producers to sell alcoholic products directly to consumers, regardless of jurisdiction. And in Ottawa, some local producers are getting ready to wet their whistle on what could be lucrative opportunities.
Now they can actually create that link to the consumer and actually fulfill an order to them and, get their products across the country without being tied to have a general listing in one of our government-regulated liquor stores.
The premiers of Quebec and the 3 territories have not signed on to the agreement. Ottawa police are asking for dash cam footage after a reported home invasion in the Manotick Estates area. Police say Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m., 4 male suspects and 1 female suspect entered a home in the area of Dunblane Way and Cabral Place. The suspects were dressed as construction workers. Police did not provide any further details about what happened. As the cleanup continues after the massive Canada Day storm, more help is on the way for homeowners, particularly those most vulnerable. The city is partnering with Matthew House and Habitat for Humanity to help flood victims replace lost furniture. It comes as many seniors struggle to clean out basements full of mold. As of now, there are more than 6,500 reports of flooded basements.
I think the city's understanding of the need is still growing. So many people that would be underinsured or uninsured, folks that in order to be able to replace the furniture that they've lost would be an enormous investment for them. And so we're able to provide that for them instead.
Matthew House is currently accepting furniture donations to help with the initiative. More details can be found on our website, ctvnews.ca. Ottawa paramedics say 2 people were injured at a downtown construction site Wednesday morning when a garbage bin fell off a forklift. It happened at around 8:20 a.m. in the area of Argyle Avenue and Metcalf Street. A garbage bin fell from a forklift, hitting 2 people, one in their 30s and another in their 50s. Both were taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. The Ontario Ministry of Labour is investigating. A new set of health warnings is coming to cigarette packages across Canada. The new designs feature images highlighting the health impacts of smoking, both on smokers and those around them. The Canadian Cancer Society says the warnings have been shown to reduce smoking since they debuted in 2001. And rotating to a new set keeps them from becoming stale.
And finally, Oliver Jones, a Canadian music icon, has died at the age of 91.
A child prodigy, Jones performed at his first concert at just the age of 5, among the first in a long list of milestones for the pianist and composer. In 2003, he was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame and won 2 Juno Awards.
And Jones was synonymous with Montreal's Jazz Festival, performing at the event every year between 1981 and 1999.
And Rosie, you had a truly special connection, and you did something really special. And I want to give our viewers a chance to talk about a little bit of the history that you had with Oliver.
Yes, I produced, wrote, and directed a documentary honoring his incredible artistic journey, Oliver Jones. And the documentary, Oliver Jones, Mind, Hands, Heart. And it featured in the Montreal and Toronto Black Film Festival. And I'm really proud that I did it. I am very sad right now. When I heard the news, I woke up this morning, I heard that he had passed at 91 years old. this man meant so much to the Montreal Black community, to the greater arts community, to Canada. He was, as you said, Will, a protege, an incredible artist, and such a kind and gentle soul. The last time I spoke to him was on his birthday, September 11th, and I wished him a happy birthday, and we had a conversation. I called him just about every year on his birthday. He sounded pretty good. And we had a short conversation, and he always encouraged me and said, go out there and do your very, very best, Rosie. And so that's why, at first, when I heard that he passed, I was thinking, I don't know if I can do this today. I don't know. But then I thought about him and his words, and I said, I'm going to do this to honor him and his incredible life. Condolences to his family. I feel like I can feel it right here, guys. Take a deep breath. He will be missed, but he will never be forgotten. Oliver Jones, what a wonderful life, a beautiful, incredible human being. And I'm so proud and so glad that I did that documentary to honor his life and his work.
Incredible.
And I think it's so amazing that you got a peek behind the curtain and got to experience something that not many people get to experience, and you have these special memories that now probably mean so much more to you. And I love that message that he's left you with, because it's really powerful, and clearly you embody it as well.
Thank you so much. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you for sharing that with us.
You.
Yeah, so special.
Thank you.
Our forecast today, we're going to see cooler conditions this morning into the afternoon. It will be nice and sunny and hot. This weekend, a little bit of sunshine, but we do have some wet weather on the way. But don't worry, it's not until Sunday. So we have a couple of beautiful days until we get to that rain. 12 degrees right now, no humidity in the forecast, so it actually feels like 12. So yes, a very cool start to your day. You're going to need a sweater this morning or a light jacket. It is quite chilly out there. 11 in the Valley, 14 in Kingston, 11 in Trenton, as well as in Brockville. So in our skies this morning, the good news is it will be nice and clear to start things off. A few clouds in the forecast kind of off and on throughout the day ahead. So mix of sun and cloud today, and then mainly sunny into the afternoon. Beautiful day for us to get outside, and conditions will stay nice and dry and lots of sunshine over the next few days, right through until Saturday. So we will see 3 consecutive days of pure sunshine, and temperatures much hotter today and through the weekend, as opposed to what we saw yesterday, where it was quite cool in the forecast. Today's daytime high 25 degrees, a little bit below seasonal, but there's some humidity out there this afternoon. We'll feel closer to 28. So finally a beautiful day to get outside in the backyard pool and enjoy. A high of 25 for us here in the city. Similar throughout the region, temps in those mid-20s. 24 for the Valley, 23 in Bancroft, 24 in Trenton, Kingston area. Same with that along the Seaway, 25 in Gatineau, as well as over in Kittigan-Ziwi today. And beautiful couple of days in the forecast for us. The next 3 days, stunning. 12 is the overnight low. Still seeing these cool overnight, so you can definitely open up the windows, let in that fresh air overnight tonight. 27 is the high for tomorrow. We'll feel closer to 32. A little bit hotter on Saturday. 28 will feel closer to 33, 34. Sunshine right through until the weekend forecast. Sunday is still looking pretty decent. It makes a sun and cloud a high of 28, but there is a chance of some spotty showers in the forecast. Could see more of that on the way Monday and through Tuesday.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
Light buildup on the eastbound 417 approaching Greenbank this morning, but that's your only trouble spot. Other than that, traffic is moving well and we are collision free.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, wildfires are burning across Canada, including more than 180 fires in northern Ontario. We check in with CTV's Scott Hurst for the latest. Here's a live look through our sky cam this morning. It is cool out there, sitting at only 12 degrees this morning. No humidity, so it does feel closer to 12 degrees this hour. But don't worry, sunshine and a high of 25 this afternoon. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 6:41.
6:44, welcome back. Wildfires continue to burn across Canada, including more than 180 fires in northern Ontario. And early estimates suggest the flames have ravaged more of the province's forests this season than any previous year on record. CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst joins us this morning with the latest on the wildfire situation across Canada. Good morning to you, Scott. So what's the latest on the wildfire threat impacting communities really right across the country?
Good morning, Rosie. We've seen a combination of extreme heat, dry conditions, and gusting winds. It really has turned a bad situation worse in many parts of the country. There are just shy of 900 wildfires burning from coast to coast, with more than a dozen new fires sparked in just the past 24 hours. And now the federal government is stepping up its response, with the Prime Minister announcing late yesterday he convened the Incident Response Group to better monitor and react to the ongoing wildfire threat, as many of these fires continue to grow, continue to threaten communities. Prime Minister Carney saying the feds have mobilized more than 5,300 firefighters and nearly 300 aircraft, including the CAF deploying 4 Hercules aircraft to support evacuation flights. Prime Minister also highlighting support from the Mexican government, offering up to 200 firefighters, he says, on their way in the coming weeks. Now, zeroing in on Ontario, there are more than 180 fires, many still burning out of control. And this wildfire season is record-setting in the way you never want, churning through more forests, more land and brush than any previous recorded year, and some still threatening entire communities. We heard just recently from First Nations chiefs that they're outraged at the provincial response. The Indigenous leaders calling on the Ford government to call a public inquiry into the provincial response. If you go out west in British Columbia, the situation continues to get worse in the Fraser Canyon area near the community of Boston Bar. A new wildfire there has prompted even more evacuation orders and impacting multiple highways that are key connecting routes through the province. So as I mentioned off the top, with the combination of extreme heat, dry condition and gusting winds, and where these fires are already burning, it is making it extremely difficult for the fire crews that are on the ground to get a handle on some of these devastating out-of-control wildfires, Rosie.
Well, Scott, as you mentioned, with Mexico sending firefighters to help us out, to help fight over 900 fires across the country, that is a little bit of good news. Thank you so much for this report. Thank you, Scott. Scott Hurst, CTV News correspondent.
Thanks, Rosie.
And it is time now for your morning fix.
As per usual, we got 3 topics for you today. And the first one is talking about Casey Musgraves, because she has released her 2nd music video of her latest album.
My lips right now in the rearview, baby. Don't even wait.
All right, this is for the track Mexico Honey. Casey Musgraves will be in Toronto August 24th for her Middle of Nowhere tour. It's her only Canadian stop on the tour.
And too bad. She's amazing and incredible. Would love to see her live. Never had the chance, but wow, this album looks good.
So this is one that, like, if you were to have a mama night out, you would try, you would attempt to make the...
Potentially.
Yeah.
You know, if she was playing in Ottawa, yeah, absolutely. If I had to travel, it makes it a little more difficult.
Yeah,
but
understood.
Yeah. Greek gods and kings are known for their muscles, and so are the goddesses.
And so my double was a woman, a female stunt performer, who had the greatest arms I've ever seen. And when she came into the catering tent, was the first time I met her. I went up and I hugged her, and so, you know.
Matt Damon, who plays the Greek king Odysseus in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, shared more about the stunt doubles used for a particular scene. During his press tour, he chatted with podcast host Josh Horowitz, who pointed out his massive biceps in the film, and Matt Damon then gave credit to Devin Dalton, a Canadian dancer and stunt performer, and this is a video of some of her workouts she shared on social media. That's incredible.
That is amazing. I mean, I might just like not be aware of this, but
Yeah.
at least coming out publicly and speaking about something like this is the first time I've ever heard. And you see him too. He's like, you could tell on his face that as soon as he met her, he was like, oh my goodness,
Yeah, he's
look
like-
at those muscles.
It wasn't me, it was her.
I can't wait to watch the movie now and be like, that ain't Matt Damon.
Right? Yeah, me too. I think everybody is now.
All right, finally for us, we'll call them the continuous hot couple. Tom Holland and Zendaya are not only starring in The Odyssey, but they also have another major movie coming out this month that you may have heard about.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. I have something to tell you that's gonna sound crazy, because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
Peter Parker is back for a brand new day. Zendaya is also reuniting with her husband on screen as the classic MJ. The final trailer for the latest Spider-Man film is officially out now. The film will hit theaters next Friday. And I think it's so cool too, right? Because their relationship, what you see kind of like in the public eye, seems to be just as secure behind the scenes. And something like that with Peter Parker and MJ playing in the movie, like what a unique,
iconic
experience to have,
yes,
right?
Absolutely. And it's like they keep their private life pretty private, so private that we speculated that they got married, and then we didn't know for so long because they just kept it all under wraps. So pretty cool and good of them. But look forward to that movie. It looks like a good one.
Love that. Peter Parker and MJ for life, baby.
Yes.
All right, let's take a peek outside, shall we? A much better day planned. Temperatures on the rise, which I believe will be nice to your seat heaters you had on this morning.
Yeah, the whole heaters, not just the seat heaters. I had the heat on.
You had the air blowing
The
too?
air blowing heat, the defrost, the full heat on this morning. It was cold.
Oh, I didn't see you come in. That would have been quite the sight. All right, friends, coming up right after the break, we are taking your comments on how do you take your summer coffee with little or no judgment. You'll just have to wait and see. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. As we cruise up to 7 o'clock, we're at 6:55 right now. We are talking about the secrets to brewing the perfect cup of coffee at home in the 8 o'clock hour. So that got us thinking today on the show. We wanted to ask our viewers, how do you take your summer coffee order? And we said, it's okay, no matter what it is, be vulnerable, tell us, because there's a little judgment on the panel. And we had a couple of, just a little bit, just me, yeah. But we had some viewers chime in.
Lee says, good grief, coffee was never meant to be cold. Any bold hot coffee. Uh-oh, there you go. Talking to Will.
Lee, I want you to know that I respect you. I love you. You just seem like you have it all figured out. You ever want to go for a coffee, a run, you let me know.
Pamela says, in the morning, or if I am at home, dark coffee with some cream. Sometimes I will add a double shot of espresso from Nespresso. If I am treating myself, then I will have an ice shaken espresso from, like Melissa said, if you know, you know.
You know.
Yes, Pamela, I'm with you.
You each got one.
Yes. It's the best.
And if you know, you know. We're just going to leave it there
Yeah.
because we can't give you more information because the OGs, they know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
All right, 50-50 split. Let's keep this chat going, shall we? Or see if we can turn the table a little bit and get one on the other side. What is your summer coffee order? Let us know. Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca. Outside, through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, it was a little bit wet yesterday. Today, I think that we have no chance of precipitation, at least for the next few hours. And Melissa letting us know it is a gorgeous, at least 2 days ahead. We are cruising up to 7 o'clock. Rosie, you'll have your news headlines right after the break.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford. Find your adventure. We stock it. The Bronco family.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
With a laid-back vibe.
where foodies love their sweets,
And markets bursting with flavor.
wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future,
Meets the past.
where people come together.
Always proud
Often loud.
and positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa.
It's Thursday, July 23rd.
And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
Concerns about the scale of weather warnings after millions of people received the same tornado warning Tuesday.
You have fans that could be visiting and then they go back to where they're from. Now they can go ahead and get it, right?
Premiers agreed to loosen interprovincial barriers on alcohol sales in response to a 50% tariff announcement on Canadian booze being sold in the United States.
And the Canadian Blood Services is asking for donors to help replenish its dwindling supply of life-saving essentials. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning. Hope your day is going well. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Coming up, our next interview, we're going to be talking about Drowning Prevention Week.
Yeah.
And I know that over the last, year since even I've been here, we've had some truly tragic stories about, incidents happening right here in the Capitol. So we're going to get some great tips on how to prevent incidents like that and why it's so important to have these discussions.
Absolutely, a great conversation, especially for everybody is heading into the weekend, because most of us will probably be by the waterways to cool down. So some great information before the weekend.
Okay, now it's time to get you up to date on today's top stories. Just days after a tornado warning was issued for multiple parts of the capital and eastern Ontario, there are questions about how and when the phone alert system is used. The warning stretched across the entire city of Ottawa, yet no tornado ended up forming in our region. Storm chaser Connor Mockett suggests adopting a similar approach used in the U.S., where warnings only go out to those in the narrow path where a tornado could touch down. His concern? A boy who cried wolf situation, where people are sent so many warnings that don't apply to them, they stop taking them seriously.
If you're issuing warning boxes that big, a large majority of that warning box has nothing to worry about. And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
No explanation was provided by Environment Canada or Alert Ready, Canada's emergency alerting system, as to why so many people were warned. But there is strong evidence a tornado likely touched down in Harrington, Quebec, about 120 kilometers northeast of downtown Ottawa. Earlier this week, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to impose a 50% tariff on a number of Canadian goods, including alcohol. This was due in part to provincial bans on U.S. alcohol. In spite of the looming new tariff, many premiers say they still will not put U.S. booze back on their shelves. Instead, 9 of the 10 provinces, including Ontario, have agreed to remove interprovincial barriers to alcohol sales, allowing Canadian producers to sell alcoholic products directly to consumers, regardless of jurisdiction. And in Ottawa, some local producers are getting ready to wet their whistle on what could be lucrative opportunities.
Now they can actually create that link to the consumer and actually fulfill an order to them and, get their products across the country without being tied to have a general listing in one of our government-regulated liquor stores.
The premiers of Quebec and the 3 territories have not signed on to the agreement. Ottawa police are asking for dash cam footage after a reported home invasion in the Manotick Estates area. Police say Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m., 4 male suspects and 1 female suspect entered a home in the area of Dunblane Way and Cabral Place. The suspects were dressed as construction workers. Police did not provide any further details about what happened. As the cleanup continues after the massive Canada Day storm, more help is on the way for homeowners, particularly those most vulnerable. The city is partnering with Matthew House and Habitat for Humanity to help flood victims replace lost furniture. It comes as many seniors struggle to clean out basements full of mold. As of now, there are more than 6,500 reports of flooded basements.
I think the city's understanding of the need is still growing. So many people that would be underinsured or uninsured, folks that in order to be able to replace the furniture that they've lost would be an enormous investment for them. And so we're able to provide that for them instead.
Matthew House is currently accepting furniture donations to help with the initiative. More details can be found on our website, ctvnews.ca. Ottawa paramedics say 2 people were injured at a downtown construction site Wednesday morning when a garbage bin fell off a forklift. It happened at around 8:20 a.m. in the area of Argyle Avenue and Metcalf Street. A garbage bin fell from a forklift, hitting 2 people, one in their 30s and another in their 50s. Both were taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. The Ontario Ministry of Labour is investigating. Canadian Blood Services is asking for donors to help replenish its dwindling supply of life-saving essentials. The organization says the blood supply is down nearly 20% since June 1st, and there are now limited days on hand of several blood types. Canadian Blood Services says appointment bookings have fallen below typical patterns. VP Ron Vizina says more donors are needed to ensure hospitals have the blood they need for everyday care and emergencies. You can find out how to donate at blood.ca.
And finally, an East End restaurant has created a hamburger in support of veterans.
Bite Burger House was a veterans house yesterday for the launch of the restaurant's new burger, the Veteran Burger.
Topped with cheese, bacon, caramelized onions, pickles, lettuce, and a maple aioli. $2 from every veteran burger sold will be donated to Veterans House Canada. The Veteran Burger at Bite Burger House in Orleans will be available on the menu until August. So get them while they're hot.
That sounds delicious. A maple aioli.
I like that.
Yeah.
The burger sounds good. The idea is good. That's a double win, I think, in the books of the community.
They mentioned the burger has pickles. I am in.
You love
I'm
pickles?
I love pickles and lots of sauce. So the fact that there's pickles in this maple aioli, that sounds delicious. I'm in.
With your iced coffee?
Yeah.
Behind the scenes today is our coffee chat talking about warm coffee or hot coffee. We're going to have this debate over the next hour and a half, so just join in at this
Will
point.
is like hot coffee only, and I said, I don't mind an iced in the summer. I really don't. On a hot summer's day, give me something refreshing.
Our first battle live on air.
It's happening, folks.
It is. It really is. And we do have your weather picture of the day today. Scott sent this in to us. This is over at Narrows Lock at Big Rito Lake.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, if you have a weather picture, we would love to see it. Send it to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca. So temperatures today warmer than it was yesterday, where we saw below seasonal temperatures in the low 20s. Today's daytime high 25 degrees, so just a little bit below the norm, but overall a beautiful day. The sun setting tonight at 8:40 p.m. Temps right now still a little bit cool to start things off. We have warmed up 1 degree, but still feels like 13 outside, and that's where temperatures are sitting this morning. So definitely a cool start. You will need a sweater before heading outside. 11 in the Valley, 15 in Kingston, 13 in Trenton, 12 in Brockville this hour. Right now in our skies, a little bit cloudy out there, so we're seeing some cloud coverage, but don't worry, those clouds will lift and we will get to see sunshine throughout the day ahead. The rain will stay to the north of us, so we don't have to worry about any wet weather on the way today. Pure sunshine on the way for us on this Thursday. As we head into overnight Saturday and early morning Sunday, that's when we could start to see a few spotty showers. So we have a couple of dry days before that. Friday, Saturday, also looking beautiful, nice and sunny. Perfect day to head out to the golf course if you're thinking about heading to the links today. Here's a look at your golfing forecast. 9 a.m. still a little cool, sitting at 15, but at least we're starting to see that sunshine. Pure sunshine by noon hour today. 20 was where temperatures were sitting, so perfect conditions for a little bit of golf. Not too hot out there on the course. As we head to 3 p.m., that's when temperatures will hover around 24 degrees. Starting to see a few more clouds rolling through into the afternoon. A hot one for today. 25 is the high for us here in the city. Will feel closer to 28 with that humidity. 24 in the Valley, 23 in Bancroft, 24 in Trenton, Kingston area. So temps in those mid-20s throughout the region today. 25 in Gatineau, as well as over in Kittigan-Zibi. Over the next couple of days, pure sunshine today right through until Saturday. A great couple of days to get outside. 12 is the overnight low, so still seeing those refreshing overnights where you can open the windows. 27 for tomorrow, lots of sunshine. Beautiful for Saturday, highs of 28. Temps will feel like the low 30s over the next couple of days with that humidity. As we head into Sunday, that's when we could see a few scattered showers Sunday, but still some sunshine in the forecast and temperatures staying hot. It will be beautiful as we head into next week.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
And on your roads right now, we don't have any collisions, but buildup eastbound on the 417 is heavy at the 416 split in through Woodruff, as well as between Carling and Bronson this hour. Light congestion westbound on the 174 as you approach Montreal Road. Will.
Thanks, Melissa. Well, this week is Drowning Prevention Week in Canada. Joining me this morning is Sean Duffy from the Life Saving Society of Ontario to tell us how we can stay safe on, in, and around the water, especially as we see that forecast and a lot of people will be spending time by the water this weekend and for the months to come. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I think it's really important that we start the conversation with, why is it so important for us to be having these conversations about drowning prevention?
Well, National Drowning Prevention Week happens every year to remind everyone of the actions that they can take to prevent drowning. Over 450 Canadians die by drowning every year, and each drowning is preventable.
And I think that's what the sticking point is, right? You say like these can be prevented, and we see cases, especially here in the capital, really tragic accidents. So we're going to go over a few things today about how we can prevent that. Where do you want to start?
Well, maybe we can start with life jackets.
Yeah.
So life jackets are super important. When we look at our drowning reports, we know that wearing a life jacket significantly helps prevent drowning. So if you're going out on a boat, for example, wear your life jacket as if you're wearing a seatbelt. It only works if you have it on. So very important for adults, children, everyone to wear a life jacket.
And can we talk about which life jacket is right for the right person? Because I know that you want to make sure that you have a certified life jacket based on the certifications as well as maybe weight. So can we go through a couple of different options of what you'd be looking for?
100%. So this one's a universal size for an adult, but we have, for example, children's sizes for different weights. They're Transport Canada approved. So just make sure that you go to your local sporting store, you get one from a reputable brand that has on here you have a label that kind of talks through the different criteria. So very important to check that out. You might have types like this. This is also a Transport Canada approved PFD, but it's not the same as a life jacket. So just looking at the different activities that you're doing and making sure you have the right tool for that activity.
For our viewers at home, just make sure, can you explain what PFD is?
Oh yes, a PFD is a personal flotation device.
Okay, and you want to make sure that you get the seal of approval there as well. And it's always important, I know we talk about, if you have children around too, just always have the life jacket on before they even get close to the water.
That's a really good point. And if you're going to our local beaches or swimming docks, there are often life jacket loaner stations. So even if you don't have your own, you might be able to borrow one for that extra layer of protection.
I love that. Okay, let's introduce Buddy the lifeguard here. What's he all about?
So Buddy the lifeguard dog is the Life Saving Society's mascot, and he reminds everyone to swim near a lifeguard. Less than 1% of fatal drownings happen in a lifeguard supervised setting, so that's the safest place to swim.
Wow, when you look at the stats like that, right? Less than 1% when a lifeguard is on duty, which is super important. We also have a kit here. So what is the use of this guy right here?
Oh, so that reminds us that when we're going boating to have the right equipment. So that includes a flashlight, a sound signaling device like a whistle, and a bailing bucket. And this is a buoyant heaving line. So having the right tools help ensure that we're prepared to be water smart when we're going out on the water.
Okay, yeah, and because boating safety, again, we're talking about being on land. Now, when we're in the boat, is there anything we should be thinking about while we're on the boat? Let's say we've got our kit, just to make sure we're being extra safe while actually motorboating.
Well, you need to think about your environment. What is the wind and weather conditions? Where are you going out to? Making sure that you have a plan and you let someone else know what your plan is. And don't go out alone. Always go out with a buddy. Whether you're boating, whether you're swimming, the buddy system. Always have someone there with you so that if you get in trouble, you've got that extra set of hands.
For people, too, that are maybe planning a couple of trips and maybe they're not used to being by the water or it's kind of new to them and they have some questions, like what would be the #1 thing that you would recommend that they do before they head out on a family trip or towards maybe our local beach or waterfront?
Well, I would definitely say go to the Life Saving Society's website, www.lifesavingsociety.com, to learn more about the different water safety tips. Visit your local pool, take swimming lessons. That's a great way to build your swimming skills and be better prepared to be around the water.
It's such an important conversation, and I want to end this talk with what you said at the beginning, because we're talking about drowning prevention, and you said a very powerful line about prevention. You said that
drowning is preventable.
Right. So I think that with these tips right now today, continuing forward, we want to make sure that everyone's being as safe as possible. We really appreciate your time coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right, Melissa, back over to you.
Still to come here on Your Morning Ottawa, local author Steph Mully tells us about her debut picture book. It's called It's Scratchy, It's Catchy, and I Just Don't Like It. She's standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam this morning. Still seeing a few clouds out there, sitting at 13 degrees this morning. Don't worry, sunny and hot this afternoon with a high of 25. Good morning, Ottawa. Happy Thursday. It is 7:50.
Good morning, 7:18. Here are the big stories happening today on Your Morning Ottawa. After a tornado warning was issued for multiple parts of the capital and eastern Ontario, concerns are rising about how and when the alert system is used. Premiers agree to loosen interprovincial barriers on alcohol sales in response to a 50% tariff announcement on Canadian booze being sold in the U.S. And the City of Ottawa is partnering with Matthew House and Habitat for Humanity to help replace lost furniture for those impacted by the Canada Day floods. Now we got to check out your forecast with Melissa.
Hot and sunny day, although it is still a little cool out there right now. We're sitting at 13 degrees to start off your morning, so yes, some cooler conditions. We will see a mix of sun and cloud for today. Lots of sunshine to be enjoyed with a high of 25. We'll feel closer to 28. On your roads this hour, traffic is still a little slow in your slowdown spots. We're seeing some volume eastbound the 417 between Carling and Bronson this morning, as well as between 416 and Bronson. If you are heading westbound, the 417 is moving well this hour, and we are collision free. Steph Mully is a local children's author from Carleton Place, and she has just released her debut picture book titled It's Scratchy, It's Catchy, and I Just Don't Like It. The book celebrates the love behind handmade gifts while encouraging empathy and understanding a family connection. Steph is joining us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited to have you here. As a mom, it always excites me when I see books that I can read to my kids. Give us the details on this book and what inspired you to write this.
So I've always wanted to write a book.
Okay.
From the time I was a little girl. So this was my dream.
Amazing.
And so I had the idea, and I thought it was just something very relatable for families, for readers, for everybody. So the story is about a little girl named Molly who wants a store-bought sweater, but her grandmother decides to knit it for her instead. And so it's scratchy, it's catchy, she does not like it. But over the course of the story, she actually learns to appreciate the love that went into that sweater.
Oh, I love this so much. So what's the message that you're really trying to convey inside this book?
Well, most importantly, I want families to be able to read it together and spend time together. But I also want to be able to teach kids the appreciation of handmade, the love, the time, everything that goes into it. And it's probably a good reminder for some adults too.
Absolutely.
But I also want it to be able to open up discussions about sensory sensitivities and having big emotions, and that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell us how you illustrate this book, because you make it very interactive when you do story time.
Yes. So when I do author events or do library or school visits, I do bring a sweater felt board so that children can make their own sweater. And I also have sensory mats so we can talk about different textures and how that makes us feel. But at story time, I invite everyone to do the actions with me.
Okay, show me those actions.
Yes, so for it's scratchy, we pretend that we're in a scratchy sweater.
Okay.
Scratchy, and then for catchy, we pretend we're catching bugs, so it's catchy. And then I just don't like it.
No,
and then
no.
One of the things that Molly says in the story over and over is, I love, 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 love it. And that's just a gentle, I love, 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 love it.
Oh, I love that so much. I'm going to bring that home to my kids. I love a story that's interactive. Tell us as well about the sweater, because we can see that this has inspired something more than just a book.
Yes. So I had the sweater made, and I thought it would just be something very fun, brings the story to life.
Yeah.
You know, children like to be able to visualize, they like to be able to touch, and it's something tangible, right? And I think it makes story time a little bit more magical.
And now it's inspired a knitting pattern?
Yes. So I've had so many families, readers tell me how much they love the sweater, and you know, how can I get it? And so it now has a pattern. I now have it, and it should be available next week. Amazing. So now everybody can make the sweater and match the story.
And read the book as
yes.
well. Oh my goodness, that's such a great gift idea. The sweater, a handmade sweater with the book.
I actually had a grandmother that did that for her granddaughter's birthday. Yes.
So what's the response been like so far to the book?
It's been amazing, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to my family, friends, my community, local businesses, bookstores, the fiber community. The fiber community has not only embraced the book, but they have embraced the sweater.
I love that.
I think it's just because the book really does speak about the love that's put into handmade gifts.
Absolutely, so special. And where can people find the book?
So it is on my website,
okay,
stephmullyauthor.ca, and I have a list there of all the stores it's available, but local bookstores, local yarn shops, Amazon, and Indigo.
And then the pattern for the sweater is available next week?
Yes. So it will be on my website and at the local yarn shops.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much
Yes.
for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
We truly appreciate it. So special. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Well.
So it's an extremely risky procedure that was completed in Montreal. Surgeons were able to operate on a woman's brain while she was pregnant. CTV's Sweeta Rassi has all the details.
Before and then after.
These brain scans of Zupa Nakayisimatego are a reminder just how quickly life can change. It all began January of 2025. She was working out at the gym when she felt a sudden pop in her head.
I was very dizzy. I couldn't see properly.
She was in severe pain. Her husband took her to the hospital where she found out she had suffered a stroke, which caused bleeding in her brain. Dr. Marie-Christine Brunet at the Montreal Neurological Institute says her condition was rare.
The incidence is about 1 or 2 per 100,000 population.
Nakayisimatego needed surgery, but there was also something else. She was nearly 6 months pregnant. Doctors gave her the option to wait until after she gave birth, but if left untreated, it could lead to a coma or even death. So she decided to go ahead with the surgery.
I had a feeling that my baby would be okay.
Call it a mother's intuition because she was right. After a 10-hour surgery, Nakayisimatego recovered well, and months later, she gave birth to a baby girl. Dr. Brunet says it took a lot of doctors to pull it off, including specialists from the Montreal Children's Hospital.
And they were here on a standby just in case something would happen and we would have to deliver the baby prematurely.
Operating on a pregnant patient is not something Dr. Brunet does often, but for Nakayisimatego, there's no doubt she had the right doctor on her side.
She did this incredible thing and she saved 2 lives.
And after a scary start for both mom and baby, they now have the most important gift anyone could ask for, their health. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
What a powerful story. Well, coming up on Your Morning Auto, we answer some frequently asked real estate questions with the one, the only, Taylor Bennett from the Bennett Property Shop. He is nice and cozy. Hello, Taylor, my friend. What a powerful wave. We know that we can trust that guy. He's hanging out in the Lazy Boy, Your Morning Auto Lounge. And outside we go to a nice cozy area too, because guess what? Temperatures back on the rise, reaching a seasonal daytime high of 25 as that beautiful sunshine makes a return. Stay with us, crew. A couple minutes till 7:30. We'll have all of your news headlines right after the break.
What makes your community special? Join us next week for Your Neighborhood, showcasing the people and places that make the National Capital Region shine.
Your Neighborhood on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Brought to you in part by the Clemo. Choose the Clemo and start living your life your way.
Good morning. Hope your morning is going well. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
If you've been a little bit confused lately, which I think is very fair to say,
Yes.
with the real estate market, is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time to buy? How are interest rates? We have the one, the only Taylor Bennett joining us to clear up all the confusion and how to best lead you forward.
I love that.
The real estate info.
Yes.
That's coming up in just a few minutes, but right now we're going to get you caught up on today's headlines. Just days after a tornado warning was issued for multiple parts of the capital and eastern Ontario, there are questions about how and when the phone alert system is used. The warning stretched across the entire city of Ottawa, yet no tornado ended up forming in our region. Storm chaser Connor Mockett suggests adopting a similar approach used in the U.S., where warnings are only go out to those in the narrow path where a tornado could touch down. His concern, a boy who cried wolf situation where people are sent so many warnings that don't apply to them, they stop taking them seriously.
If you're issuing warning boxes that big, a large majority of that warning box has nothing to worry about. And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
No explanation was provided by Environment Canada or Alert Ready, Canada's emergency alerting system, as to why so many people were warned. But there is strong evidence a tornado likely touched down in Harrington, Quebec, about 120 kilometers northeast of downtown Ottawa. Earlier this week, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to impose a 50% tariff on a number of Canadian goods, including alcohol. The proposed tariffs are due in part to provincial bans on U.S. alcohol. In spite of the looming new tariff, many premiers say they still won't put U.S. booze back on their shelves. Instead, 9 of the 10 provinces, including Ontario, have agreed to remove interprovincial barriers to alcohol sales, allowing Canadian producers to sell alcoholic products directly to consumers, regardless of jurisdiction. And in Ottawa, some local producers are getting ready to wet their whistle on what could be lucrative opportunities.
Now they can actually create that link to the consumer and actually fulfill an order to them and, get their products across the country without being tied to have a general listing in one of our government-regulated liquor stores.
The premiers of Quebec and the 3 territories have not signed on to the agreement. Thousands of drivers have been ticketed for not paying parking in the Westboro, Wellington West, and Hintonburg areas. Bylaw Services says officers issued more than 14,500 tickets between September 9th and June 30th. The city implemented paid on-street parking in the area last fall after years of it being free. The parking rate is $3 for 60 minutes with a maximum of 2 hours. Ottawa police are asking for dash cam footage after a reported home invasion in the Manotick Estates area. Police say Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m., 4 male suspects and 1 female suspect entered a home in the area of Dunblane Way and Cabral Place. The suspects were dressed as construction workers. Police did not provide any further details about what happened. Ottawa paramedics say 2 people were injured at a downtown construction site Wednesday morning when a garbage bin fell off a forklift. It happened at around 8:20 a.m. in the area of Argyle Avenue and Metcalf Street. A garbage bin fell from a forklift, hitting 2 people, one in their 30s and another in their 50s. Both were taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. The Ontario Ministry of Labour is investigating. As cleanup continues after the massive Canada Day storm, more help is on the way for homeowners, particularly those most vulnerable. The city is partnering with Matthew House and Habitat for Humanity to help flood victims replace lost furniture. It comes as many seniors struggle to clean out basements full of mold. As of now, there are more than 6,500 reports of flooded basements.
I think the city's understanding of the need is still growing. So many people that would be underinsured or uninsured, folks that in order to be able to replace the furniture that they've lost would be an enormous investment for them. And so we're able to provide that for them instead.
Matthew House is currently accepting furniture donations to help with the initiative. More details can be found on our website, ctvnews.ca.
And finally, the city's newest music venue is showing signs of opening soon.
Yes, it is. The 2,000 capacity venue inside the former Chapters bookstore is scheduled to open next month.
So exciting. Some headliners have already been booked. The Wallflowers, Kaleo, and The Pretty Reckless are among them. I'm also looking forward to seeing Thundercat. He's just been confirmed. He's an incredible bassist, and he's got a really great sense of humor. And I saw him way back when in Toronto, like about 6, 7, 8 years ago. So
incredible.
Really excited.
I just want to see the inside.
Yes,
I remember
yes.
what the Chapters looked like, and I want to see how they've kind of transformed everything inside and see if I can recognize any of it, and if it will all look completely different.
Yeah, well, I've been to the History in Toronto multiple times. I was at CTV Kitchener for 4 years, so undoubtedly every concert that I went to happened to be at History. The venue was amazing, the vibe was cool, the acoustics were amazing, so I imagine they're taking pretty much a replica design if they can and pasting that here, but I think that we are in for quite the treat.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be so good.
Yay!
Our forecast today also so good.
Yay! Double yay!
Finally, yes, after yesterday. I did not love yesterday. I don't love when it's cold in the middle of July and I have to wear my pants and my sweater. Today, a bit of a different story. Still seeing those cool mornings, but into the afternoon, sunny and hot, and a little bit wet as we head into the weekend, but overall, it's looking spectacular. Warm conditions and lots of sunshine. Still sitting at 13 degrees here in the city. It's 14 in Montreal, 11 in Cornwall, 13 in Brockville, 11 out in the valley as well. So cool conditions across the region to start your day off. Right now, we're seeing cloudy conditions, but those clouds will lift shortly, and we will get to see lots of sunshine throughout the day ahead. Mainly sunny skies into your early afternoon, then we'll start to see a few clouds rolling through late this afternoon, but overall beautiful for today. This will stick around for Friday as well as on Saturday, so lots of sunshine over the next 3 days. It's Sunday that we could start to see these spotty showers, so this is in the morning hours on Sunday. We could see a few spotty showers, but nothing that will ruin your day. Still lots of sunshine to be enjoyed as we head into Sunday. Great day to head to a pool in the backyard. If you have a friend who has a pool, call them up and say, hey, I'm coming over and I'm bringing some food. Don't worry, you'll definitely be welcomed. 25 is the high. We'll feel closer to 28, and yes, sunshine and hot into the afternoon. Going to find a nice place to cool off later on today, especially with that humidity, making it feel closer to 28 today. Similar temps throughout the region in those mid-20s throughout most of the region. 24 for Cornwall, Brockville. Same out in the valley for this afternoon, and in Gatineau a high of 25 today. Over the next couple of days, we'll see that sunshine stick around. 12 is the overnight low, so a little bit cooler overnight still, especially tonight. Tomorrow, not so bad. 27 is the high for tomorrow. We'll feel closer to 32, so more humidity in the forecast. 28 on Saturday, lots of sunshine. We'll feel closer to 33, 34. Then as we head into next week, temperatures still in those higher 20s, but we could see some spotty showers Sunday and through Monday. Build up eastbound on the 417 still between Carling and Bronson this hour, so definitely have some heavier slowdown spots this morning on your drive in. The good news is we are collision free, and you can see if you're heading westbound, the split is perfect. No issues there, but if you head past the split in through Saint Laurent, that's where it starts to slow down a little bit. Rosie.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
Whether you have questions about buying or selling, every single week, the Bennett Property Shop, we've got Taylor Bennett. He helps answer some of those questions, and he is here today with some of those confusing questions that people have consistently. He's here to answer them. Good morning to you, Taylor.
Good morning. Rosie. Yeah.
Okay, so first question for you. So this question is, I've got a 120-day mortgage, let's see, approval. Does that mean we are approved?
Well,
Taylor.
it means you've been initially approved, but you haven't gone through your full approval yet. Now, the 120 days means that what's going to happen, you're going to get pre-approved, the bank's going to give you a guaranteed rate. It means you have to close before the end of that 120-day period. So a lot of people think, oh, perfect, I can buy my house in 120 days, maybe I move in 2 or 3 months afterwards. No, it's no good. You need to make sure it happens all within that 120-day period. And even then, what happens is during that 120 period, you want to have as little changes as possible. So if you're getting, some people, a classic example I had, a client of mine was getting a new job, a higher paying job, very excited, perfect. I got my approval. If anything, my approval is going to be even higher. The bank doesn't look at it that way. If you're starting a new job, you might be under probation at that new job. It's not as guaranteed as your old job, even though it might be a less salary. So you want to keep as many things as stable during that 120-day period as possible. Make sure your closing is all lined up. Keep your credit history the same. Don't make any big purchases. So again, it's initial approval, but it's not the full approval. You want to make sure that you hit all that criteria, because there's always conditions on that 120-day approval.
Okay, that's very good. The 120 days, that's the key, that number right there.
Yes.
Okay, so next question for you. I'm buying a new construction home. What is a tentative occupancy date?
Yes. When you buy new homes, it's a little bit confusing, or it can be a little bit confusing. When you sign your actual contract, you're going to see up to about 5 closing dates on the actual contract itself. And the contract is about 100 pages long to begin with. So you're going to see 5 closing dates. How is that possible? Well, the builder basically gives you the earliest occupancy closing date. So if everything goes according to plan, this is the earliest date you're going to be moving into. And even then, they're going to have to confirm an exact date, because of course not everybody buying into that project is going to move in on that same day. There's going to be basically basically a worst case scenario date, your last date on there. So worst case scenario, if all the delays happen, if all these things happen, here's the worst case scenario date you're going to be moving into. The builder can move the date in between those two dates, provided enough notice has been given. But that's basically what the new home contract shows you there. So when you initially buy, they're giving you a range. As you get closer and closer to completion, they're going to narrow down that range. And eventually, at least 3 months before your closing date, you're going to have a confirmed closing date that's on there.
Quick little follow-up. What happens if that closing date, the range, is not met and it's even later?
There's some compensation that can issue. Maybe sometimes the project gets canceled entirely. That's probably the worst case scenario. But even then, you'll get all your money back. It's not like your money's at any risk or anything like that. But there's usually compensation given. So maybe they're going to be a couple of months behind. Maybe the builder will change your price a little bit, or I'll throw in an upgrade or something like that for you.
Next question for you. We are buying a rural property. What should we ask about the septic system and well?
Yes, septic system and well. If you're not part of a rural property, if you're used to buying in the city, or of course hooked up onto city services, but septic and well, of course, means your own sewage system and your own water coming in there. You want to ask questions: when it was last time it was flushed? How many people have been living in the house, and how much usage it actually has? How much can it contain? Can I do an inspection on it, or maybe the seller has done an inspection that can provide that report? And with the well, you want to know how deep the well is. Is the water potable? Are you making sure that it's actually clean water that's in there? Is there any actually being actively used, of course? And so these are things before you actually buy a rural property. You'll have a chance to do an inspection to get all those things confirmed. And before you actually confirm the property, you're going to make sure that all those things are actually done, because of course you're not on city systems. You want to make sure you take care of your own systems.
Okay, we're going to breeze through the next two questions.
Yes.
We are buying a condo. What is a reserve fund?
Well, in short terms, basically it's a savings plan that's for you. Every time you make a condo payment, part of that goes into the reserve fund, and it's there to make sure that you have future repairs that are paid for, whether it be the roof or windows, things that you're typically not individually responsible for, the condo will handle for you.
Okay, what is title insurance, and do I need it if I don't have a mortgage anymore?
Well, if you don't have a mortgage, you probably especially need it. If you have a mortgage, your bank's typically something that will put a title insurance on you for you. And if you don't have a mortgage, you're the one that's basically going to have to do it yourself. It protects you against identity fraud, protects you against any land disputes that's on there. If somebody tries to steal your house and steal your identity to take your funds, that will protect you against that. It's a small fee, and it saves you from a ton of headaches down the future.
That is very important to have, title insurance.
Absolutely. And a lot of people, again, they paid off their mortgage, they get excited, they don't even think about it because they've never had to do it before. The bank did it for them. You're going to have to do that if you don't have a mortgage.
Taylor Bennett, it's always such a pleasure to have you on, helping us out here.
Of course, anytime.
Really
a lot of information is important, because these are great assets, but they can be liabilities if you don't look after them.
Very important indeed. Thank you for that, Taylor. And don't forget the Bennett Real Estate and Wealth Show, Ottawa's #1 resale real estate team. There, you can listen to Marnie Bennett every Saturday, 1 p.m., 580 CFRA on News Talk Radio. Melissa.
Coming up, stepping up for local youth. We're joined by BCG Ottawa to share how for Souls for Souls, Canada and designer brands are donating brand new athletic shoes to local kids and what it will mean to them. There's a live for our Centennial Glass Sky Cam this morning. And yes, still a little bit of gray skies out there to start things off. But don't worry, sunshine this afternoon, warmer today with a high of 25. Happy Thursday, everyone. It is 7:44. On Tuesday, July 28th, 50 children from BCG Ottawa will head to the DSW store at Train Yards for a special shopping experience. CEO Adam Joyner joins us to talk more about this exciting opportunity. Okay, this sounds like a dream. Give me the details on this partnership.
Yeah, so it's a partnership led by BGC Canada, and it's with Souls for Souls Canada, and we're just really excited about the opportunity to have 50 members go to one of the DSW stores and have that chance to really pick out something that they value and is their choice, is their ability to make the choice and have a new pair of athletic shoes to bring into the rest of the summer and then the school year.
And to get to go shopping and pick out what they would choose, which is so special. What was the reaction like from the kids if they found out? Because not everybody has found out yet.
Yeah, so a lot of the members don't know at this point because you know we have 4,000 members across Ottawa, and so you know we select different opportunities, right? And an opportunity like this, we'll select the members that need it the most, and then they're going to have that opportunity to go and pick out their shoes. So there'll be a lot of excitement. There'll be a lot of you know. It's something special.
Screams
you get to go
and jumps for joy.
Yeah, and just try it and try to find the thing that makes you feel great.
And why shoes?
Well, when you think about, first of all, shoes are something that everybody would needs, and they're expensive, and they're something that you know is a hard thing to replace, and you know. Children grow out of clothes quickly, but shoes in particular are an expensive piece of clothing that a lot of families are challenged by.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And if you feel really good when you're in a nice new pair of shoes and you're starting your school year, there's nothing. You know, you want to start your school year on a good note, and that's always a good way.
Absolutely. It's so important. Tell us more about importance of partnerships just like this one.
So corporate partnerships are key to the success of BGC Ottawa. Without the community, we would not be here. And so generous partners who provide opportunities like this, whether it's a donation to the members or a support of BGC Ottawa directly, this is what keeps our doors open and lets us provide the services that we do in our community. So we're very grateful for these opportunities for our members and for the community at large.
And tell us more about what you do and some of the services that you do offer and what you're all about.
So BGC Ottawa is a child and youth serving agency for ages 6 to 18. It's completely free for our members to attend. Any child in Ottawa can attend a BGC club. We have 4 big clubs here in Ottawa, and it's all different types of programs. It's based on 4 pillars of programming: physical activity, health and wellness, education, creative arts, and leadership. And we have a ton of programs. So we're 50 in some locations that kids can access, and it's completely free for them to be part of that in our evening and weekend programming.
Have you seen the need grow over the years?
Yes, in every different way. Coming out of the pandemic, we have a lot of families that need a lot of different types of support than they needed before the pandemic. So things such as mental health supports, things such as just having a safe place to go. Just the cost of everything is just that much more. So providing a space that's supportive and gives opportunity to young people is what we're all about. And the needs are growing, and we want to match those needs.
And for people out there looking, saying, hey, I would love to donate, I would love to maybe volunteer, how can they do so? What's the best way?
Best way is to go right onto our website, bgcottawa.org. You can click the donate page. You can go to About Us and find out how to become a volunteer. If you want to sign up your kids, please do. Everything's online. So feel free to just click on our website, and then you'll be able to find everything from there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and talking more about this wonderful opportunity coming up. And
thank you.
A little shopping spree.
It'll be fun.
It will. And still ahead on Your Morning Ottawa.
This is a coffee morning.
Every morning for you is a coffee morning.
This is a jumbo coffee morning. I need coffee and an IV.
Give it to you.
We share the secrets to brewing the perfect cup of coffee at home. And yes, you can make it too. We'll have that coming up.
All right, it is milestone time for this Thursday, July 23rd. We got a happy 12th birthday to our beautiful Stella. 12 years of smiles, memories, and love. We are so proud and wish you the happiest birthday ever. Lots of love always from Mom, Dad, and Griffin. We got a happy 7th birthday to VM. Lots of love from Mommy, Daddy, and the rest of the family. And if you got a milestone, celebrate it with us here at Your Morning Ottawa. Birthday announcements for kids turning 13 or younger or 100 years or more. And those wedding anniversaries, 50 years or more, just email us, ottawa.milestones@ctv.ca, and we will share that with our viewers and we'll make it memorable. Let's take a peek outside, shall we? And a little sunshine poking through. A beautiful Thursday, but an even better Friday through Saturday ahead. We bow down and thank you, Melissa, for the forecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's Thursday, July 23rd.
And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
Concerns about the scale of weather warnings after millions of people received the same tornado warning Tuesday.
You have fans that could be visiting and then they go back to where they're from. Now they can go ahead and get it, right?
Premiers agree to loosen interprovincial barriers on alcohol sales in response to a 50% tariff announcement on Canadian booze being sold in the United States.
And the Canadian Blood Services is asking for donors to help replenish its dwindling supply of life-saving essentials. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning to you. Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Rosie Edna.
An hour left, I'm Willa Yellow.
Happy Thursday, everyone. I am Melissa Lamb.
We started off 6:01 this morning talking about coffee, and we've had some debate on hot coffee, cold coffee, maybe cold coffee in the
Right.
future. Coming up now, the timeline is dwindling down. We're going to be talking about how to make the perfect cup of coffee in the comfort of your own home.
I love it. Well, if there's a nice coffee I'm in, I'll take it for you because I know you don't love it. You like it hot
I do.
and you like it dark.
And I have no idea what type of coffee that we're going to be making, so anything could happen at 8:40 this morning.
There you go. We will tune in for that. No doubt about it. You're trying to get him to have iced coffee, right?
I said, I hope there's ice cubes so that I get it and he does.
I thought she said I saw ice cubes. I was like, what do you know that I don't know?
Okay. That continues. Just like you said, another like 40 minutes, and
Yeah.
then we'll see whether or not will engage in some cool coffee. Can you do cool coffee?
No.
No, he's not even doing that.
No, I refuse.
Okay, we'll get you caught up right now in today's top stories. Just days after a tornado warning was issued for multiple parts of the capital and eastern Ontario, there are questions about how and when the phone alert system is used. The warning stretched across the entire city of Ottawa, yet no tornado ended up forming in our region. Storm chaser Connor Mockett suggests adopting a similar approach used in the U.S., where warnings only go out to those in the narrow path where a tornado could touch down. His concern, a boy who cried wolf situation where people are sent so many warnings that don't apply to them, they stop taking them seriously.
If you're issuing warning boxes that big, a large majority of that warning box has nothing to worry about. And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
No explanation was provided by Environment Canada or Alert Ready, Canada's emergency alerting system, as to why so many people were warned. But there is strong evidence a tornado likely touched down in Harrington, Quebec, about 120 kilometers northeast of downtown Ottawa. Earlier this week, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to impose a 50% tariff on a number of Canadian goods, including alcohol. The proposed tariffs are due in part to provincial bans on U.S. alcohol. In spite of the looming new tariff, many premiers say they still won't put U.S. booze back on their shelves. Instead, 9 of the 10 provinces, including Ontario, have agreed to remove interprovincial barriers to alcohol sales, allowing Canadian producers to sell alcoholic products directly to consumers, regardless of jurisdiction. And in Ottawa, some local producers are getting ready to wet their whistle on what could be lucrative opportunities.
Now they can actually create that link to the consumer and actually fulfill an order to them and get their products across the country without being tied to have a general listing in one of our government regulated liquor stores.
The premiers of Quebec and 3 territories have not signed on to the agreement. Thousands of drivers have been ticketed for not paying their parking tickets in Westboro, Wellington West, and the Hintonburg areas. Bylaw services say officers issued more than 14,500 tickets between September 9th and June 30th. The city implemented paid on-street parking in the area last fall after years of it being free. The parking rate is $3 for 60 minutes with a maximum stay of 2 hours. Ottawa police are asking for dash cam footage after a reported home invasion in the Manotick Estates area. Police say Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m., 4 male suspects and 1 female suspect entered a home in the area of Dunblane Way and Cabral Place. These suspects were dressed as construction workers. Police did not provide any further details about what happened. Ottawa paramedics say 2 people were injured at a downtown construction site Wednesday morning when a garbage bin fell off a forklift. It happened at around 8:20 a.m. in the area of Argyle Avenue and Metcalf Street. A garbage bin fell from a forklift, hitting 2 people, one in their 30s and another in their 50s. Both were taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. The Ontario Ministry of Labour is investigating. As the cleanup continues after the massive Canada Day storm, more help is on the way for homeowners, particularly those most vulnerable. The city is partnering with Matthew House and Habitat for Humanity to help flood victims replace lost furniture. It comes as many seniors struggle to clean out basements full of mold. As of now, there are more than 6,500 reports of flooded basements.
I think the city's understanding of the need is still growing. So many people that would be underinsured or uninsured, folks that in order to be able to replace the furniture that they've lost would be an enormous investment for them. And so we're able to provide that for them instead.
Matthew House is currently accepting furniture donations to help with the initiative. More details can be found on our website, ctvnews.ca. Oliver Jones, a Canadian music icon, has died at the age of 91. A child prodigy, Jones performed at his first concert at the age of 5, among the first in a long list of milestones for the pianist, composer, and writer. In 2003, he was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame and won 2 Juno Awards. And Jones was synonymous with Montreal's Jazz Festival, performing at the event every year between 1981 and 1999. He will be missed.
And finally, 6 belugas from the now closed marine land in Niagara Falls are settling into their new homes in the U.S. 4 of the whales are getting used to life at Chicago's Shed Aquarium.
The belugas arrived at the aquarium Tuesday, and for now, staff are staying with the whales 24/7 to monitor them and provide all the attention and nutrition as needed.
The 2 other belugas went to SeaWorld in San Antonio. The remaining whales from Marineland are expected to be taken in by aquariums in Georgia, San Diego, and Spain.
Oh, an update to a story we brought you yesterday about that they were going to be sent over, and now that they're actually there, we have some video of them, which is nice.
That is good. Absolutely. So fantastic. Our forecast today, it's going to be a beautiful day to get outside, unlike yesterday where I just stayed indoors, took a nap, read a good book.
It was cold and windy.
So cold. It was cold,
Yeah.
it was windy, it was wet. I was like, what is happening? It feels like end of October. I'm not ready for it. And
Wow, I bet that iced coffee felt so good in your cool day.
no, but it will feel really nice today.
Oh, back and forth. Here we go.
No!
It's an iced coffee day.
The battle continues.
Absolutely. It's going to be a hot one. 25 degrees today, a little bit below seasonal. That's okay. Sun setting tonight at 8:40 p.m. Temps right now still slightly cooler. We're sitting at 14, even though we've warmed up a little bit. No real humidity in the forecast this morning, so it does feel like 14. 17 now in Kingston, 16 in Trenton, 15 in Brockville. So temperatures starting to warm up a little bit. Dealing with cloudy skies still this morning, but into the afternoon, lots of sunshine today. We will see mainly sunny skies in the early afternoon. Late this afternoon, a few more clouds, but overall, lots of sunshine to be enjoyed throughout your Thursday. That will continue Friday, Saturday. This is now Sunday morning. You could start to see a few scattered showers in the forecast. So we could start to see a little bit of wet weather Sunday, but nothing that will ruin your plans. Still some sunshine to be enjoyed. 25 for today. We'll feel closer to 28 with that heat and humidity. 25 in Kemptville. Out in the valley sitting at 24 today. So temperatures really in those mid-20s across the region. 25 in Gatineau. 21 only in Mont-Tremblant. So still a little cooler in Tremblant into your afternoon. Heading to the golf course today. Beautiful day to do a little bit of golfing because it's not going to be overly hot. Temperatures still a little bit below seasonal. Temps will hover around 15 degrees at 9 a.m. Still seeing a few clouds. Nice and sunny by noon hour, sitting at 20. Then we'll reach temperatures at 24. We'll reach our high around 4 p.m. at 25 degrees. We'll still feel closer to 28 this afternoon. So overall, beautiful day to head to the links as we head to your overnight low. 12 is the overnight low, so still cool. You can open up the windows, let in the fresh air. Tomorrow, more sunshine, a little bit hotter as well. 27 is the high. We'll feel closer to 32. We'll feel 33, 34, and through Saturday with a high of 28. Sunshine until Saturday. Sunday, a little bit cloudier. Still some sunshine in the forecast for us. Chance of those scattered showers, though, especially early in the morning. Could see that Monday and through Tuesday, but temperatures next week really seasonal. On your roads this morning, build up on the eastbound 417 between Carling and Bronson. We're also dealing with congestion forming westbound on the Queensway at Saint Laurent through Nicholas. The Champlain Bridge experiencing some slowdowns as well coming in from Gatineau. All your other bridges are moving well. Here's a live look through Centennial Glass Skycam this morning. Starting to see that sunshine, and yes, it's an iced coffee day if you ask me, especially this afternoon when we're reaching a high of 25, feeling closer to 28 with lots of sunshine to be enjoyed. So sip away those iced coffees, and Will have his hot coffee still. We'll be right back.
Therapy Thursday is brought to you in part by Bravella Health FemAid Clinic. Learn more at femaid.ca.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Here is your dilemma of the day. This is the situation. A friendship is causing some marital tension for one Ottawa couple. She says that her husband can't stand her coworker's husband, but the other couple just wants to keep getting together. So, should she tell the truth, keep making excuses, or just hang out without the husbands? That's the dilemma on this week's Therapy Thursday with Sophie and Jeff on Move 100.
In your couplehood, there's always one person who's a little more open than the other person. Yeah. And so trying to keep both of you happy and then the other couple happy at the same time, it's a lot of managing.
Yeah. That is the hardest part. Like, one of you is always more social than the other.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, AJ says here, her advice is, because it's a coworker, I would say that your husband is working on getting a promotion. So he's been working a lot. Once you guys no longer work together, maybe you can be open with her if you stay friends, but you can always hang out alone without your husbands.
What if you've worked together for 25 years?
I do like AJ's idea of just saying, you know what, my husband is like working on a really important project and he just can't, he doesn't have the time.
And that will be forever.
That's right. It's a very important secret operative project for the rest of time.
3 years from now, she's like, your husband's still working on that thing?
Yeah, it's a big project.
Yeah, it's a big project. All right, Kim says maybe the husband needs to present himself less likable with each passing outing. So eventually the other guy learns to read the room and also decides he doesn't like hanging out either. So get them to break up with you when you want to break up with them is what's happening there.
Yeah. My vote is you don't tell your coworker that your husband does not like her husband.
Okay.
Imagine, though, it's like if I said to you, you know what, I really don't like Louise.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't want to hang out with her.
Right, I got it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that easy. You can sit there and say, oh, yeah, it's fine.
I know. But it's just normal for me because that's what guys do. Guys will just look at each other and be like, our wives aren't a fit, dude. It's not going to happen.
But it's different. It's different. Do you work with any of these people?
No.
Well, this is why it makes it a little more complicated because they work together. So they're already in an environment together where they have to see each other all the time. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. They are going to continue to be friends, I felt like. But, like, if you say that your husband sucks, I guess you can't.
No, you can't. I feel like that's going to hurt the friendship.
But sometimes women know their husband sucks. And they're just trying to find a play date.
No. Definitely not. Oh, God, no.
One of the leaders of the 2022 Freedom Convoy protest is now back in the news. The CBC is reporting that Leach is trying to get permission to travel internationally for a cruise and to visit the White House as an employee of Rebel News. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA to get his thoughts on this, Bill. And where do you want to begin?
Well, if there's any shred of credibility left in our justice system, this cannot happen. Because it will blow it up entirely. The woman is under house arrest. It doesn't matter whether you think she was guilty or not guilty. In the eyes of the law, she's guilty. House arrest is not a very tough sentence. I'm sure it's harder than it sounds, although I do remember COVID, we all felt like we were kind of under house arrest. Maybe that's the irony of Tamara Leach, but you have to stay home. And they seem to be playing this game with, well, she's now an employee with Rebel News, and she's going on some kind of Rebel News-related cruise, and I guess the White House visit is related to that. in some way as well. The average Canadian would look at this and say, you have to be kidding. We cannot allow people on house arrest to have what is already an easy sentence made even easier by allowing them to travel around the world. What would we be thinking here? So there's a judge in Ottawa has a decision to make, and that judge better be taking into account, and they can take into account how the public reacts to something that the law allows that. They have to consider that very seriously. I think the anger in this country will be palpable if Tamara Leach gets to go on an extended vacation, whether it's work-related or not. So, no, this can't happen.
Not to mention, Bill, if you think about everything that's going on right now between the two countries, for Tamara Leach to potentially get off house arrest, go to the United States, and visit the White House with everything going on, that would just make it even more of a mess.
Well, yeah, because look, this job she has with Rebel News is cashing in on the crime that she committed in the first place. So she's benefiting from the crime she committed while she's supposed to be still under house arrest, still serving her time. Add that to the list of things that will make us feel appalled by any decision to let her travel. I'd be kind of surprised if they do, but not totally surprised, because when it comes to our justice system, I'm never totally surprised.
Yeah, like you said, in the hands of the judge at this point, Bill. We'll see what comes to fruition after this. Appreciate your time.
And then to go to the White House and rub Ottawans' noses in it after the disruption here. Ooh. Have a great day, guys.
You too. Yeah, not great timing on that front. If you want to listen to more of Mr. Bill Carroll, he is on The Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA's every weekday from 6 till 10 a.m. All right, Ottawa is home to one of Canada's rarest ecosystems, an inland sand dune in the Greenbelt that dates back as far as the last ice age. Today, we are joined by Pete Dang, president of Biodiversity Conservancy International, and Gabriel McMurran, a biological technician with the organization, to talk about how they've restored the unique habitat and how local residents can help protect it for the future. Good morning to the two of you.
Good morning.
I think it's so fascinating what the two of you do. We were just talking about, you know, the different worlds that we live in. I can't believe how you guys got into it. For those maybe a little bit unfamiliar, tell me a little bit about the PD Sand Dunes and what they're all about.
Well, the PD Sand Dune is part of the restore part of the National Capital Sand System, and it was formed about 10,000 years ago.
How did they end up here in the first place? Actually, I think it's really unique to be in this area.
And you remember the last glacial period, it lasts about 100,000 years. And then when we started working at the sand dune, actually the sand dune was formed about 10,000 years ago, toward the end of the last glacial period.
And you look at the dates, like we're talking about 1925 when we put up some of those photos. Like that is a mesmerizing number when you date back that far.
Right. Well, you know, this is the way we try to restore the dune and to bring back the prehistoric landscape for Ottawa, a rare habitat, inland dunes habitat, and a unique group of biodiversity for the National Capital Region.
It's so cool. So, Gabriel, what would go into something like a restoration project like this? So what is the behind-the-scenes work to make something like that happen?
So the real challenge here is that the dune system, as it exists now, it's only a remnant of what existed in the last ice age. It stretches from about Merivale to Woodruff, just south of Hunt Club, and only 0.1% of that currently exists. So a lot of the challenges that we have to face are just making sure that the sand, as you see there, is shaped into proper dunes and not just as flat sand. There's many species that burrow into the dunes. Part of it is ensuring that there's enough wildflowers and other plants that are kept there and that are watered frequently. Mm-hmm. Part of that is weeding to make sure that invasive species don't take over the dune.
Right. I was going to say, what are some of the unique species that you'd find in something like this as opposed to other areas in the city?
Pete, would you like to? The species actually live in the sand dune. They have to really have the ability to cope with the harsh environment of the dune, where the temperature during the summer can reach 72 degrees Celsius. That's scorching. All right. So they, especially the group called the tiger beetles at the sand dune, it amazed everyone who come to the dune have studied the species that live in the dune, especially the ghost tiger beetle. Very well adapted to the dune system. but white color and very nearly invisible, blends in with the sand and survive the heat. Actually, they use the heat to protect themselves from predators and other enemies.
Wild. Like when you look at something like this, what interests you the most in what you're doing, the work that you're accomplishing?
I'm just fascinated by how different it is from everything else that surrounds it within the Ottawa biosphere. There's no other habitat that exists quite like it. You have all this diversity. You've got butterflies like the monarch butterfly, the American lady. You've got all these tiger beetle species that thrive on sand dunes that are 72.5 degrees Celsius at their hottest in the summer. And they just thrive on that lack of moisture. It's just such a strange habitat to exist here in Ottawa.
So special, right? And it adds to the uniqueness of our city. And, you know, obviously the two of you are doing such great work in preserving and making sure that it continues to be like this for generations to come. What can the public do to help you on this mission?
Go ahead.
Thank you. One thing that the public can do to really help make this a more special place is to volunteer their time. We're always looking for volunteers, especially on weekends. Like summer students such as myself do a lot of the restoration work on weekdays, but we're always looking for new people to devote their time and expertise. And for students who are interested in doing really meaningful conservation work, we're looking to expand the dunes as the years and into the next generation. And we're looking for people with interest and expertise in that field. And beyond that, we also love having school groups. We love inviting them. We love homeschool groups and members of the public to come visit our site. I think once you know the site is there, it's a lot easier to become interested in what you see around you.
And Dr. Ding, obviously you've been doing this a long time. You know, what do you hope that the younger generation takes out of something like this so we can make sure that it does hold a place in our hearts as we move forward?
Then actually, you know, we have a education program at the DUNE provided to young children from grade 1 all the way to university level. And that we try to get this generation to look into the future of the sand dune. They're going to be the steward of the sand dunes in the future. Because everyone to come to the dune and study and learn, they're really interested in this kind of habitat. That's so rare and so unique and completely, you know, the landscape is completely different. The landscape are unique and people just love to come to the dune.
So amazing, rare, unique, right here in our city. Dr. Ding Gabriel, thank you so much for sharing that with us today. And hopefully we can inspire the younger generation to keep it preserved for years to come.
Good, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Melissa, back over to you.
And coming up, we are
This
sharing
is a coffee morning.
Every morning for you is a coffee morning.
This is a jumbo coffee morning. I need coffee and an IV.
Give you tea and a balance bar.
I need an iced coffee and an IV. Well, we are sharing the secrets to brewing the perfect cup of coffee at home. And yes, you can make it too. Will it be an iced coffee for Will? Will we change his mind and bring him to the dark side or the cold side, as I like to say? We'll have to find out. Stay tuned. Our guest is standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa kitchen.
Good morning. Just after 8:30, I'm Rosie Edda.
We got drama on the show coming up.
I know.
Hello.
All throughout the show, talking about coffee, whether it's hot or cold. And Melissa keeps just pushing at Will, like, you need to try cold coffee.
Yes.
Will Aiello, Melissa Lamb. Okay.
So here's a small recap. We're talking about coffee orders today. I think coffee should always be hot. She likes an iced coffee. And we've just found out, breaking news, that it is going to be a cold brew iced coffee segment. So you're going to want to stay tuned. There's going to be drama.
So I said we're going to bring him to the iced side. We're going to make sure that he likes a little bit of a cold brew. So you got to try it. You got to try it before you knock it.
I don't do things that I don't like to do. But I'll probably end up trying it.
Peer pressure.
Oh, he just said it. He just said it. He's going to try it. Well, you got to stay tuned for that. We're making like coffee at home, like the perfect brew at home.
I love
and we were
it.
talking about summer coffee and what's your favorite order. You're like, no, hot. You're like, cold. Why
I go
not?
for a nice. I like a hot in the morning, but then once it's afternoon, I love a little iced coffee or a cold coffee or a
It's
cold
like
brew.
Love Island coffee edition for us
Here
today.
we go. Stay tuned for that. Right now, we're going to get you updated on today's top stories. Just days after a tornado warning was issued for multiple parts of the capital and eastern Ontario, there are questions about how how and when the phone alert system is used. The warning stretched across the entire city of Ottawa, yet no tornado ended up forming in our region. Storm chaser Connor Mockett suggests adopting a similar approach used in the U.S., where warnings only go out to those in the narrow path where a tornado could touch down. His concern, a boy who cried wolf situation where people are sent so many warnings that don't apply to them, they stop taking them seriously.
If you're issuing warning boxes that big, a large majority of that warning box has nothing to worry about. And that's when people start, disregarding the warnings. Your phone starts screaming at you, and you just look at it, you press OK, and you put it down, and you can go about your day. It shouldn't be that way.
No explanation was provided by Environment Canada or Alert Ready, Canada's emergency alerting system, as to why so many people were warned. But there is strong evidence a tornado likely touched down in Harrington, Quebec, about 120 kilometers northeast of downtown Ottawa. Earlier this week, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to impose a 50% tariff on a number of Canadian goods, including alcohol. The proposed tariffs are due in part to provincial bans on U.S. alcohol. In spite of the looming new tariff, many premiers say they still won't put U.S. booze back on their shelves. Instead, 9 of the 10 provinces, including Ontario, have agreed to remove interprovincial barriers to alcohol sales, allowing Canadian producers to sell alcohol products directly to consumers, regardless of jurisdiction. And in Ottawa, some local producers are getting ready to wet their whistle on what could be lucrative opportunities.
Now they can actually create that link to the consumer and actually fulfill an order to them and, get their products across the country without being tied to have a general listing in one of our government regulated liquor stores.
The premiers of Quebec and the 3 territories have not signed on to the agreement. Thousands of drivers have been ticketed for not paying parking in the Westboro, Wellington West, and Hintonburg areas. Bylaw services say officers issued more than 14,500 tickets between September 9th and June 30th. The city implemented paid on-street parking in the area last fall after years of it being free. The parking rate is $3 for 60 minutes with a maximum stay of 2 hours. A new entertainment complex with an indoor water park and hotel is being proposed in the city's West End. Palladium Resort Development recently submitted an application to the City of Ottawa about a project on Palladium Drive near Highway 417. In the proposal, the 13,000 square foot entertainment complex includes a water park featuring water slides that exit and re-enter the building. The building also includes a family entertainment and retail gift shop. The city will consider a zoning amendment around the project in September. Ottawa police are asking for dash cam footage after a reported home invasion in the Manotick Estates area. Police say Sunday between 10 and 11 a.m., 4 male suspects and 1 female suspect entered a home in the area of Dunblane Way and Cabral Place. The suspects were dressed as construction workers. Police did not provide any further details about what happened. Oliver Jones, a Canadian music icon and a personal mentor, has died at the age of 91. A child prodigy, Jones performed his first concert at the age of 5 at Union United Church in Montreal. That was among the first in a long list of milestones for the pianist and composer. In 2003, he was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. He won 2 Juno Awards in 1986 and 2009. And Jones was synonymous with the Montreal Jazz Festival, performing at the event every year between 1981 and 1999.
And finally, the city's newest music venue is showing signs of opening soon.
I feel like we were just talking about this yesterday, and here it comes. The 2,000 capacity venue inside the former Chapters bookstore, scheduled to open next month.
Some headliners have already been booked. The Wallflowers, Kaleo, and the Pretty Reckless are among them. Very exciting.
Super exciting. I cannot wait for this, especially right here downtown. Maybe give a little extra buzz to the Byward Market. and have some great acts that are starting there already.
And a nice intimate setting, it seems, as well, right? Like 2,000 fans, that's kind of like the perfect venue to really feel up close and personal with the artists. So
yeah.
It's
a great one. Like I was talking earlier about the one in Toronto is the great. It's intimate. It's just big enough where like you can have access to, but then have that special performance with great acoustics. So I'm very excited.
Oh, sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Our forecast today, it's going to be a nice day to get outside. If you cooped indoors yesterday like me and you did not venture out because it was a little too cold for July, today's a beautiful one to get outside. 25 is the high, a little bit below seasonal. Sun setting tonight at 8:40 p.m. Temperatures this morning still sitting at 14, so still a little bit of a cool start to your day, but that's okay. It will be nice and warm this afternoon. Finally starting to see some sunshine, so those clouds are starting to shift through. 15 in Montreal, as well as in the Valley, 17 in Kingston, 16 in Trenton right now. So we did have a cloudier start to your morning. The good news is most of those clouds have cleared out. We will see sunshine over the next few hours. A few clouds rolling through late this afternoon as well, but overall a beautiful, sunny, dry day in the forecast. Don't have to worry about any rain. The rain will stay to the north of us. We will start to see a few scattered showers on Sunday. So until then, we have a couple of beautiful, sunny, dry days in the forecast. So this is Sunday morning. We could start to see a few scattered showers in the forecast for us. 25 is the high for today. Mix of sun and cloud throughout most of the day today. We'll feel closer to 28 with the humidity. 24 in the Valley, 23 for Bancroft, 24 in Trenton, Kingston area. Out along the Seaway, also sitting at 24 for today, 25 in Gatineau and over in Montreal. So over the next couple of days, absolutely stunning. Great to get outdoors and plan those outdoor activities. 12 is the overnight low tonight, so a little bit cool still in the overnights. Beautiful and sunny as we head into Friday, Saturday. More sunshine to be enjoyed. Temps will feel like in the low 30s with that humidity. As we head into Sunday, Monday, there is a chance of some spotty showers in the forecast, but overall, still going to see some sunshine and temps still in the high 20s, mid 20s by next week. Build up on the eastbound lanes of the 417 between Carling and Bronson. Also congestion forming westbound on the Queensway at the 174 split in through Nicholas. The Champlain Bridge, we're experiencing some slowdowns coming in from Gatineau. All your other bridges are moving well this morning. Riverside and Bank also seeing some congestion due to construction. So if you're in that area and try to avoid it if you can. As you can see, the split in through downtown is now quite heavy right past Saint Laurent as you make your way into Nicholas this hour. So still seeing some slowdowns if you're heading westbound on the 417. It does pick up past the downtown core.
All right, we have been having some drama on the show from 6:01. It is finally time to settle the debate. We got Will Willis here from the Ottery Community Roasters. He's the owner. Melissa and I have had a battle about cold brew coffee, and I like my hot coffee. So today, we're going to talk about how to make the best coffee at home, and I might be trying my first non-hot coffee with you, my friend, but only because we're both Wills.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's a great name. Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's so great to have you on. Like, we love coffee, and it's so great. And there's something about coffee in the morning that just starts your day off on such a great point.
Totally, yeah.
What is it about that coffee that got you into this business in the first place?
I mean, obviously the taste of coffee is great, but also just the community that's involved, from the farmers to the community that kind of supports us. You know, for me, it was just roasting coffee in my garage, and from that kind of brewed this whole passion in business. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so we're gonna go through some cold brew coffee today, and like talk about a little bit the differences and kind of what makes yours special.
For sure, yeah. So I'd say, you know, we're going to start with traditional cold brew. So most traditional cold brew is going to be pretty flat. You know, it's cold, it's chocolatey. It kind of misses a lot of the best components of coffee. It misses the acids, the fruity notes, but on a hot day, it's still pretty refreshing, right? So for traditional cold brew, I would say to make it at home, it's really easy. You don't have to go to the coffee shop and spend $8 to make it yourself. You can get a mason jar, you can fill it with some coarse coffee, put some water on it, keep it in the fridge for 24, 20 hours, strain it through a strainer or cheesecloth, and you have cold brew. Is it going to be the best cold brew? It'll be cold brew, right? It'll be cold, refreshing, chocolatey. Even if it's great coffee, it's still cold brew, right? It's going to lose a lot of the components of coffee. Obviously, for us, we have a really high-end commercial machine which keeps a bit more of that acid and fruity notes into it. But at the end of the day, cold brew, you can make it in a mason jar. You can buy, you know, from 8 ounce or from any kind of coffee store, one of these brewers that'll do it a bit quicker, 4 or 5 hours. But it'll still be cold brew. Chocolatey, a bit flat, right? Okay. So I know you're not really a cold brew kind of guy, but we can convince you. So I would say the best way to make cold brew at home is with a pour over. So actually, I forgot the ice in the freezer. So.
That's okay. You go get that. I'll call in Melissa as she comes
Cool.
over
Let's
here
go.
because let me tell you something. Will knows what he's doing because the only way to maybe get me to start doing this was introducing words that I like. The pour over could be one of my favorites outside of the espresso, so I think he's onto something. But don't you give me all that happiness so far.
But
so
I also
quickly.
just learned something about cold brews, so thank you for
Hey, Melissa.
educating us. So good to see you, Will. Will and I go way back. We go way back, Will and I. Both Wills.
All right, so now we've got the ice in there. Walk me through what this looks like.
So essentially, cold brew takes a long time, 20 hours. But if you want a quick cold brew, and you want a cold brew that's going to have more acid, maybe using a lighter coffee, because traditionally cold brew is better with darker coffees, medium dark. But if you're into light roast, like we have a lot of light roast drinkers, and you want to keep some of those acids, just do it over ice. So you do a pour over like you would at home. You just kind of use a little less water than you would. And the trick to doing this is really using big ice. So using kind of like cocktail ice, right? Because it's going to melt a little less. That being said, can you use just regular ice at home? Definitely. It might just be a bit more watery, so use a little less hot water when you're pouring it in. But this way, you're going to have a cold brew that takes 3 to 4 minutes, has a lot of acid to it, has a lot of flavor to it, a little more exciting than your traditional cold brew.
Got it. Okay, all right. You're getting me over. You're getting me over.
Now, for the magic of TV, we won't spend 5 minutes brewing that. we'll move on. So, how to kind of spruce up your cold brew? You find it boring. There's ways to kind of spruce it up. So I would say, if you have a traditional cold brew, even if you're buying a cold brew pre-made from the grocery store that may be a little boring, you can spruce it up. You can add lemonade, do a 50-50 cold brew lemonade is an amazing drink.
Wow.
50-50 with your favorite cola and a little lime wedge. And you can make cold foam. So I think everyone's probably been to been somewhere where they're kind of making cold foam and thinking, wow, I'll spend $10 on that drink, right? But you can do it at home super easy. Okay. So we're going to use you can use pretty much any milk will do different things. So skim milk will give you a really fluffy, cloudy. A whipping cream and maybe a mix of skim milk will give you kind of a more dense foam. We're using a barista milk from Henrietta, so that's about 3.8% milk.
Okay.
So you're literally just kind of putting it into a mason jar, adding whatever syrup. So we're going to do a little banana, a little vanilla.
I think this one's for you.
And then just using one of these. You can buy these pretty inexpensively at IKEA. You can buy a better one, like this one at 8 ounce, which will give you a bit of a better froth. And literally just, do this. And then in 30 seconds, you'll have a really nice, frothy cold foam that you can kind of just dollop onto your drink.
Looks delicious. Have we
I'll
convinced
get
you
Will
yet,
to do
Will?
this.
Yeah, I got this. As you cover
and
that
then
one.
Another little trick, too, with cold brew is take cold brew and put it in a shaker, right? Shake it.
Shake it up.
Now you're making nitro cold brew. So you're adding nitrogen into the cold brew. So sometimes you need like a fancy machine. But really, you just need a bit of gumption.
Okay, are you going to try the nitro cold brew, Will?
So look at that.
I'm asking Will.
So look at that. You can get all that.
Out of all these, Will, is this the one I'm going for?
If we need to convince him to
Look
come
at
to
that.
the
So
cold
it's
side.
going to sit a bit, but that's nitro, right? And just from shaking it, so you're going to get a really textured, extra kind of micro bubbles in there.
Yeah.
All right. So out of all this, which one do you want me to give a go?
You don't like sweet, right?
Not as much, no.
So I would say the nitro.
Okay.
And then Melissa, I'll give you this cold foam one.
Look at that deliciousness.
And again, a lot of places you're going to pay so much for this, but you can do it at home so easy.
Will, this is a big moment for us.
You can spruce it up with maybe like a little strawberry.
Oh, that's a little...
Oh, bougie it up.
There you go.
And that one's
and this
for
nitro,
me?
so it's still a bit heady, but...
Okay.
Okay, cheers, Will.
My first ever non-warm
Go
hot
for it.
coffee.
Cheers, guys,
you.
yeah.
Cheers, Will. I'm trusting you.
Yeah. It's not poison, don't worry.
Imagine.
Well, mine's delicious.
Okay, here's what I'll say. It's different not having it be hot, but the flavor is still in there.
For sure,
So
yeah.
I will give you the credit where I can still have those hints of those flavors that are coming through.
And also, it's a bit chilly today, too. If it's 40 degrees outside, then have a cold brew in your hand. You're feeling pretty good, right? So.
Exactly.
Oh, we're playing some light music to have this big moment. We'll really appreciate you coming on, especially Melissa. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, Will. I only did it because his name's Will, all right? That's the only reason I trusted him. If you want to be featured in our kitchen, you can email us yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca, and we would love to have you on. Outside through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Okay, I'll give Melissa and Will the benefit of the doubt today, climbing up to 26. It might be the day you could have an iced coffee. But if you want to stay warm, I'm okay with that still, too. Lots of fun here on the show. We'll be right back with one more interview before we let you go on your Thursday. Stay with us, friends. We'll be right back.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Starting things off today with Trooper. Canadian rock legends are taking over Hard Rock Live Ottawa tomorrow for a night of classic hits that'll have you singing along from start to finish. Next up today, Capitol Pop-Up Cinema. Grab a blanket and head to Westboro tomorrow for a free outdoor screening of The Little Rascals. The movie is open, captioned, and well-behaved furry friends are welcome to join you. So bring your dog. Last on the list today is Veg Fest Ottawa. The free celebration of plant-based living takes over the Ottawa Conference and Event Centre this weekend with food, shopping, speakers, and of course, plenty to explore. As usual, lots more happening this weekend around the capital. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, my name's Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Showcasing the whimsy and joy of miniature art. Kiana Simmons is here, and she's actually working on a piece right now in that incredibly detailed, minuscule form. Kiana, this is incredible. I'm mesmerized already. You're just starting to work on it. What's going on here with miniature art in Ottawa?
Yeah, so my business is Miniature Veg, where I teach people how to make polymer clay miniature foods out of polymer clay. But I'm also the curator of the Ottawa Miniature Gallery, which we have here in studio today. So there's actually a lot happening with miniature art in Ottawa. There's a lot of people who are getting into miniatures, a lot of people who already make miniatures, a lot of people excited about miniatures.
I am fascinated. I really am. Talk about the joy that you feel when you're doing this.
Yeah.
Please tell me, are you in your own world? You got to get down deep and so detailed.
Truly, I think one of the things I've started saying in my workshops is at the end, like, everyone needs to raise their arms like this, because you can get really locked in. But I got into miniatures in a time when I had a lot of free time and was looking for something joyful to do. And I have continued doing it because it makes people really happy. It's something that makes people feel like a kid again. It makes people kind of scream with delight.
Yeah.
I'm just like making tiny raspberries to make a little fruit pint here.
Stop it. Stop it. This is so great.
Tiny raspberries, tiny blueberries. Go ahead and touch them, yeah.
Oh my goodness, you see I want to get all up in here. How long does it take you to make like this vegetable basket, for example?
I feel like I'm a pro, so it's pretty quick for me, but usually I will teach any of these concepts in a 2-hour workshop where we're working for about an hour and a half, and then we're baking for sort of the last half hour.
Right, because the clay needs to be baked, so it's set. This is okay. Can I touch this?
Yeah, absolutely. You can take the pieces apart.
You know I got to get all up in here. When did you start this?
I started in 2020 with my mom. We were just home. We were looking for something to do, and we started making miniature vegetables, and it just stuck with me. It was something that I started doing kind of on the regular, and started getting other folks excited about. Started teaching workshops in 2024, and it has become my full-time job to teach polymer clay miniature workshops.
Well, where can we get this little workshop from you?
I am on Instagram at Miniature Veg, and my website is www.miniatureveg.ca. I teach workshops every month, kind of across the city. Yeah, there's my my gallery folks. Yeah, and we just won an award. We won 2 awards, actually. We won the Awesome Ottawa Award and the Tontine Bursary to continue doing programming with the Miniature Gallery. It's a really exciting time.
I am so excited for you. I'm glad that you're offering this incredible art that brings so much joy and whimsy. I do love it. To Ottawans, like you said, if you want any information, it's on our screen there. You can go to our website. Kiana, you are incredible. This is wonderful stuff. Get all up in there, James. Look at all the details. Just fabulous. Look at that. Get mesmerized by that beautiful artwork. Thank you so much again, Kiana. We're right back to wrap up the show. Stay with us. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa.
All right, well, that does it here at Your Morning Ottawa for your Thursday. We'll be right back with you tomorrow at 6 a.m. Have yourself a beautiful day.